Ever wondered if your advertising dollar is really working for you? If your ad would have been here, you and more than 4 million people would be listening to it right now. Contact ads at xzoneradiotv.com.
This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
Unwilling to be the government's deadly assassin, gifted psychic Kahara Mitchell went AWOL and ended up buried under rubble in the wake of a great tsunami. She regained consciousness far from Earth on the medical ship of a Daguerrean intergalactic fleet. Has she been rescued or abducted by aliens? The Chalice of Carrie, Kahira O'Donnell's latest paranormal science fiction romance, is the passionate story of an Earth woman and her destined mates, twin kings from another galaxy. Kahara uses her gifts fighting alongside Lords Rom and Ra in a war that will determine the destiny of galaxies. The Chalice of Carrie by Kahira O'Donnell is now available at KahiraO'Donnell.com or at Amazon.com.
The X-Zone radio and TV show is largely an opinion talk show. All opinions, comments, or statements of fact expressed by Rob McConnell's guests are strictly their own and are not to be construed as those of the X-Zone radio and TV show or in any manner endorsed by Rob McConnell, Relmar McConnell Media Company, Talkstar Radio Network, its affiliated stations, or employees.
All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X-Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
I turned 18. We lived in a one-room run-down shack on the outskirts of New Orleans. We didn't have money for food or rent, to say the least. We were hard-pressed. Then Mama spent every last penny we had to buy me a dancing dress. Well, Mama washed and combed and curled my hair, and she painted my eyes and lips. Then I stepped into a satin dancing dress that had a split from the side clean up to my hip. It was red velvet trimming and it fit me good. And standing back from the looking glass there stood a woman where a half-grown kid had stood. She said, here's your one chance, fancy, don't let me down.
And welcome back to the X-Zone, everyone. My name is Rob McConnell. We're coming to you from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Worldwide toll-free 1-800-610-7035. My email address is xzone@xzoneradiotv.com, on MSN Messenger and every other social media site out there, X-Zone Radio TV, and that includes MySpace, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Vimeo, you name it. It's just one address, X-Zone Radio TV. And our main site, www.xzoneradiotv.com. X-Zone Nation, this hour we're going to be talking about a subject that has not been talked about over here on the North American continent. My guest this hour is Andrew Peter, and Andrew is a talk show host in the United Kingdom. We're talking about stolen children this hour. That's right, you heard me right, stolen children. And Andrew campaigns for children to be returned home after Child Protective Services in the United Kingdom steals them. Now, according to Andrew, the United Kingdom Social Services steal children for profit. I'm not making this up. Joining me now from the United Kingdom is talk show host Andrew Peter. And Andrew, thank you very much for joining us. Welcome to the X Zone.
Yeah, thanks, Rob. I love that intro.
Andrew, tell us a little bit more of this alarming topic: children being stolen by Child Protective Services.
Yes, I wish I could use a different word than stolen, but you know when you take something that's not yours and you've got no legal right to it, it's classed as stolen, really.
That's right.
And this actually happens to children, and what they tend to do, they look for quote-unquote dysfunctional families. So to be a target, you must either have an alcohol problem, you must be unemployed, not working, you may be single, you may have other services involved in looking after you or your family, you may have disabilities, you simply may just be the wrong colour. So that they'll, over a period of time, they'll collude with schools and they'll collude with general practitioners and hospitals, and between them they'll make an excuse up, which is generally at the moment your children will be taken under the pretense of future risk of emotional harm. So small example of that would be a lady in a supermarket, supermarket mall. She but raises her voice to her children, please don't touch that, that is not yours, that sort of thing. Should be deemed as hysterical. Therefore, if she keeps being hysterical at home, the children will then get damaged. So social worker comes along, takes that child away. Now, the bit of it that happens next is very sad, because not only at that point is that woman, as an example, never going to get her child back again, often she never ever sees the children again until they're adults. What tends to happen is the social worker fabricates the lies. Once a social worker's done that, the witnesses from school, from GPs, they have no say in the matter, because a social worker is more powerful than the actual law. So when
all right, Richard,
goes to court,
Andrew, please stand by. We've got to take a 2-minute commercial break. Exonation, Andrew Peters, our special guest. We're talking about stolen children in the United Kingdom, apparently stolen by Child Protective Services. We'll be back on the other side of this commercial break. Don't go away.
I had a split from the side, clean up to my hip. It was red velvet trimming and it fit me good. And standing back from the looking glass, there stood a woman where a half-grown kid had stood. She said, here's your one chance, fancy, don't let me down. She said, here's your one chance, fancy, don't let me down.
Nicholas P. Jinnix is a lover of humanity and a seeker of truth. Using facts and not opinion, he exposes misconceptions spread by religious and political organizations. While theology, engineering, and science were his fields of academics, history, philosophy, and humanities are his fields of research. His article entitled "The Obama-Iran Nuclear Deal Must Be Stopped" exposes lies by Obama to approve a nuclear deal. This deal benefits Iran domestically and militarily, but compromises the security of the United States. The Jinnix article is provided on the internet link www.rel-mar.com/NG1. That's www.rel-mar.com/NG1.
Call him Reef. Reef is your host. Reef is your guide. Are you happy? Happiness is like trying to find water in the desert. Can you find any? Sometimes, sure, but only a few drops. God is an ocean of joy. But God is not cheap. You cannot find God in a chemical. You must attract God's attention. How? Not by living to please your senses. That is false ego. The Matrix is not real. It is a computer-enhanced hallucination. You are spirit soul, not the body. We have forgotten how splendid our home really is, the spiritual sky. For more information, visit rishasongofblue.com. That's www.reeshassongofblue.com.
Fartlets, fartlings, pongies, and honkers. They have so many names, makes you go bonkers. Rear tempest, butt bubbles, bottom burps, all aside. Why does it smell like a little rat died? Hail the fart, whenever, wherever, whoever. Its existence actually enriches our lives because it gives us those unforgettable moments that we can all recall again and again that are always good for yet another laugh. A new expose on farting. Get your copy of The Endearing Fart by Eileen Dover at www.theendearingfart.com.
Why you look so sad? The tears are in your eyes. Come on and come to me now. Don't be ashamed to cry. Let me see you through. 'Cause I've seen the dark side too. When the night falls on you, you don't know what to do. Nothing you confess could make me love you less. I'll stand by you. I'll stand by you. Won't let nobody hurt you. I'll stand by you. So
Welcome back to the X Zone, everyone. My name is Rob McConnell. We're coming to you from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. My guest this hour is Andrew Peacher. He is a radio talk show host in the United Kingdom. We're talking about a topic that I never thought I'd be talking about, but it is so important that we have to bring it to you, the members of the worldwide X Zone Nation. It's about stolen children. Apparently, according to my guest this hour, Andrew Peacher, there is, well, what do I call it? A breakdown in the governmental system where they can actually go in and take children, steal children, as Andrew puts it, for something that, as little as your mom or dad are unemployed, or there might be an illness, or whatever the case may be. Richard, first of all, Andrew, thanks very much for joining us. And what are some of the most common reasons why children are being taken away from their parents?
Yeah, like I was saying about the dysfunctional group, they could be single, they could even be, gay. We've all got issues on that, I suppose. Yeah, unemployed is one of them. Being in care system yourself is one of the very popular ones. So if you was in local authority care, doesn't matter what the reason was, you're more likely to be targeted because it is assumed that you can't bring up children because you didn't have that love and care from your family, nurturing because you was in care for whatever reason. The second most popular is if you've been sexually abused by anyone, or raped. As a domestic violence case, you definitely can't look after children in the eyes of the UK system.
Has it always been like this, Richard, or has there been something that has catapulted this into such prevalence?
I think it's always been like this, but the catapult recently, over the last 15 years, is social workers got it wrong on 3 big cases. The children were called Baby P, Victoria Climby, and only this year, Daniel Pelker. In all cases, the child was badly abused, starved, or murdered by their parents. The social workers never noticed that, so they got into trouble for this. And the reaction to that is make the adoption targets, foster care targets higher. You take more children more quicker. You make up more lives because you don't want to get slated by the authorities, for not doing your job correctly. So they are in a situation a little bit of they are damned if they do take children into care and damned if they don't. But the truth of the matter is, it's a big tall order to say, but I don't think they care about children or families. It's all to do with bonuses.
So
going back...
I'm sorry, go ahead, sir. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going back to my last statement. So when it goes back into court for the very first time, up until the very last time, the lies that the social workers made up, nobody in power can challenge that because the law is bigger than that. You can even appeal, you can even go to the higher courts, but nobody, for some reason, will challenge any lies from social workers. The lawyers are in on it too. It's really a very sad system we have over here. But I actually think, rather than everybody being corrupt in it together, I think they have no powers to change what the social workers do. I mean, why they do it, I really don't know why they do it. Personal bonuses is one thing, but surely, taking every child nearly into care without good reason or without legal evidence, that's got to be wrong.
There must be some human right violations being committed here, and if so, how can CPS get away with this?
Yeah, good answer, that one. The Human Rights Act is Article 8, the right of a family life, because obviously they're taken away into care, and what they should be doing is educating the parents or letting the children, if they're really, suffering, go to an auntie, a grandma, a granddad. But no, their preferred choice is children into care. Now, you'd say to yourself, probably why? Well, it's because social worker gets a bonus, the social work manager gets a bonus, the foster care agencies get a bonus, the children are used for drug trials, vaccines, that then causes them disability. So at each level, there's more ways of asking central government for more money for a disabled child, for vaccine damaged child, for this sort of emotionally disturbed child, and so on and so on. And it's all that money that they're spending the way they feel. That's what it's all about. $1 billion industry, and that's only in the UK.
Are you saying that this is happening in other places around the world? Andrew?
Yeah.
Are you saying that...
happens all over.
How did you become aware of this?
Me personally, I became aware of it when my children were stolen. And it goes back to the last question. I researched, is it happening in other countries? Is it happening in the UK and Ireland? And I was gobsmacked. I was so traumatized by what I read. I left it for 2 years to understand it before I did anything. And then after 2 years, I campaigned vigorously.
And what headway have you made?
I think the only thing so far we've done in the last 3 years is provided support, legal advice for people. We've prevented children going into care. We've got social work managers of, not just of that building, but of the whole county or the whole state. We've got them to resign and sacked. we've not changed the law. We've got members of parliament now helping us to change the law, but they're not getting anywhere. So it's a very, very long struggle.
How about the children? How are they taken care of? When have you seen your children since they were taken away from you?
I've been lucky to see one of them, but not both of them.
And what were the grounds on which your children were taken away from you?
It was, we had 3 points, I think, and it was Mr. and Mrs. blah blah moved around the country too much, causing the family to have an unsettled lifestyle. I mean, we're only talking every 2 years we moved, not every day or every week. At times when my wife was, a bit emotional,
right,
the children would suffer. Just really small things, overweight. That's debatable. It wasn't the normal stuff like, they had bruises or they never went to school properly, or things, or they were never happy or clean.
Right.
That's the normal things.
So why do you think you were targeted?
That question's very good, actually, but I've got my own reasons for that one. I was living in Scotland, and as bizarre as this may seem, some parts of Scotland do not like the UK English people. And I think because we went into a part of Scotland that was, they call it clannish, means that everybody knows each other, and if a new person comes in, they really don't, like that person. And I think because of, we had 2 disabled children at the time, we had money, we didn't work, so we had money from the state, big money, car from the state, because that's what they do when they give you help. And I think people there got jealous, and was a victim that way.
How long after you moved into Scotland were your children taken away from you?
Moved in the March, the children were gone the following January.
My God.
And that is less than the state recommended 1 year to get a child into care once you have first contact with the family.
Let me ask you this. How did you and your wife cope with this?
You don't cope, you never cope. We still haven't coped 7 years later. But you get by helping others. Without helping others, I think we'd all be gone to the asylum by now.
I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say. I've got 6 children, 7 grandchildren. I don't know what would happen if anyone ever tried to take my children away and were successful. I can't fathom it. Andrew,
very lucky they're in Sorry.
Andrew, you and I have to take a news break.
Okay.
Please stand by, my friend. Thank you very much for coming on the show and for sharing this story with the world. Exonation, my guest this hour is Andrew Peacher. I'm pointing you to a website, www.forced-adoption.com. That's www.forced-adoption.com. And Richard and I don't know why I keep calling him Richard, but Andrew and I will be back on the other side of this commercial break with the news as we continue talking about this very sad yet important topic that we have to get out. No more hiding around the bush. My name is Rob McConnell. This is the X-Zone. I'll be back on the other side of this break with my guest this hour, Andrew Peacher. Don't go away.
Why you look so sad? The tears are in your eyes.
Ever wondered if your advertising dollar is really working for you? If your ad would have been here, you and more than 4 million people would be listening to it right now. Contact ads at xzoneradiotv.com.
Little children aren't the only ones afraid of the dark. Millions of soldiers return from war zones with PTSD, anger, frustration, fear, and loneliness, much of which surfaces during the darkness of the night. You have the chance to change the lives of these American heroes. Songs and Stories for Soldiers.us provides free MP3 players for these men and women. With a list of 3 million songs in 16 different styles, 100,000 audiobooks, and 30,000 old-time radio programs, every veteran can find something to soothe and comfort them at no cost. All our players contain an 8-hour audio program designed to help veterans fall asleep. With 1,500 plus vets now participating, it's our goal to deliver 10,000 audio players this year. Go to our website at songsandstoriesforsoldiers.us. Help us help a veteran make it through the night.
Wouldn't you love to know the secret to everything? Well then, meet Dr. Kimberly McGeorge and her cutting-edge breakthrough knowledge that combines science with possibility. Dr. Kimberly brings real-life answers and healing to those open to alternative solutions. She teaches solution-based programs and classes that will change all areas of your life forever. Specializing in conscious creation, intuitive readings, and energy medicine, you can rapidly shift health, relationships, business, and money and abundance challenges quickly. Receive her best-selling book, Secret to Everything, at no cost by going to secrettoeverything.com/X-Zone. That's right, transformation can start now. Just go to secrettoeverything.com/X-Zone and receive Dr. Kimberly's book for free.
Hi, this is Eric Rawls of Cosmoverse.com, and you're listening to Rob McConnell in the X-Zone.
Hi, this is Blade Runner, and you are listening to Canada's #1 paranormal radio show, The X-Zone, with Rob McConnell.
Hi, I'm Laura Sabrin of Feast to Fields Organic Vineyard in Jordan, and you're listening to Canada's #1 paranormal radio show, The X-Zone, with Rob McConnell.
Hi, my name is Lady Ashley, the White Witch of Niagara-on-the-Lake, and you're listening to Canada's #1 paranormal talk radio show, The X-Zone, with Rob McConnell.
Welcome to The X-Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
Spend all your time waiting for that second chance, for a break that would make it okay. There's always some reason to feel not good enough, and it's hard at the end of the day. I need some distraction. Oh, beautiful release. Memories seep from my veins. Let me be empty. Oh, weightless, and maybe I'll find some peace tonight. In the arms of the angel, fly away.
Welcome back to the X-Zone, everyone. Andrew Peacher is my special guest. We're talking about stolen children in the United Kingdom. Children being stolen by Child Protective Services, the very people who are entrusted by society to protect children, are taking children away from their homes for, well, what I consider to be some frivolous, insignificant reasons. For example, Andrew told us about if a mother yells at a child in a grocery store not to touch stuff, like I'm sure we all have done to our children, this could be a cause for an investigation. If the children are overweight, if mom or dad, for some reason or another, are not working, These are just some of the reasons that children are being removed from homes, from their mums, from their dads, that they don't get to see until they become legal age. In Andrew's case, he was telling us that he and his wife moved to Scotland. And they believed that they were targeted because they weren't part of the clan, or part of the clique, as we call it over here in North America. No matter what the reason is, I believe that there are checks and balances in place that need to be followed, need to be adhered to. You just don't go into a house, take children away for no reason. At least I didn't think people did up to this point. I'm a dad, 6 kids. I'm a grandfather, 7 kids. I don't know what I would do. I'd go ballistic. I'd go bonkers. You'd have to take me with a putty knife off the ceiling if my children were touched. And yet here you have a man, his name is Andrew Peacher, he's a talk show host in the United Kingdom, who is telling his story of how CPS took his children away from him and his wife. And what is he doing? He's helping people. He's helping people who have had their children taken away from them, who are in the process of having their children taken away from them, who he's out there with a message saying, hey, this cannot continue. This is wrong. Actually, on February the 14th, I believe you have you've planned a blockade. Am I correct?
Yeah, well, there is another side of me when you know, you try peacefully to do things through legislation and via your MP, and that's not working. There is only one way to stop this happening, is to do a bazaar event.
Right.
We think this bazaar event is to block the London motorway, the M25. It was done before with milk protesters, fuel protesters. You know, the farmers were protesting because of milk. The raising fuel costs, the lorries were protesting, and now the parents are going to be doing it. They're already doing smaller events like empty pushchair rallies and so on, but next February the 14th being the Day of Love, because that's our message. It's peaceful. We will block off the M25, and bizarre as it sounds, the police will help us. We've tried before. They thought it was our big one. This one is our big one, because we just wanted to see if the police would help us for safety, and they will. So this time we're going to at least block a section off, if not all sections. And the message will be, really, we want a meeting with the MPs that are helping us, with senior figures, to, at least have a public inquiry why they do this. I mean, I kind of know some of the answers already. The social workers will be overworked, underpaid, told to do things they shouldn't be doing. But like you said, there is no balance of it's just one answer. This child goes into care, and that's it.
What happens to that child when they go into care?
I just wanted to let people know this article. This article, in Britain today, there's 91,000 looked after children.
91,000.
According to the the National Society for the Protection and Cruelty to Children, the NSPCC, and it states on their website, over half of looked after children in care in England and Wales, became looked after because of abuse or neglect. Read that again to yourself. Over half of looked after children, so half of 91,000, over half, it should say 100% really, if they're getting the facts over. So what they're suggesting, in a way, 55%, over half, 55% is over half, are, in care for good reasons. The other 45% have definitely been stolen, and that definitely works out with the figures that we know already.
What can be done right now? Are your hands tied as a parent? You just have to grin and bear. What happens if you would try to dispute the claims being made by CPS? Is there a procedure in place where you, as a parent who have had your children taken away from you by CPS, you can actually fight it?
Well, when you go for the legal system, it's so quick and it's so against you, and you're so traumatized, they take the parental rights from you very quickly. So any chance of appeal is gone very quickly. You have an 8-week period where you go to court, hit with everything, and you're supposed to come up with a good case and, go back to court. It's so quick, you lose because they pressurize you.
So you're lost even before you start.
Yeah, and the biggest thing is you can't take anybody into the courtroom to say, look, witness this. The courts are closed to media, to public. They don't want anybody knowing what's going on. I totally agree with the idea that the child shouldn't be named or the locations.
I agree.
And all that. But, criminal courts, which we prefer, because in a criminal court, if a crime hasn't been committed, then there'll be no punishment.
That's right.
But the family courts are closed. So they're supposed to be open now, and you can go into a certain degree, but you're not allowed to report on anything, otherwise you'll be held for contempt of court. But it's only just happened this last 4 weeks. They're slightly opening the doors, but they're only opening the doors, I think, to appeals and other things. They will not open the doors if a child's in the courtroom or if you're disputing their claim.
Well, let me ask you this. Are there any lawyers that specialize in these child abduction cases by CPS?
There's only about 2 in the UK, yeah.
2? And what do they say about what's going on?
Oh, they absolutely agree. We're right. Some of the main MPs agree that we're correct. So do members of Parliament. So we're not totally alone. They have the evidence. They've probably had their child stolen as well, because it's not just open to normal people, as they say. We've had teachers, we've had social workers, we've had police. They've all lost their children in the same manner.
All right, so there are 91,000 children that are under the care and protective custody of CPS right now. And they're held there until the age of 18 or 19?
18 in most cases. In Scotland, because our children have got disabilities, they're going to be held there until the 21 under a guardianship order. And if they feel after that they're still not capable of leaving, they then place them on a Vulnerable Adult Act, which they can, in some cases, they can keep a child until they die, until they're pensioners. But in the real world, hopefully by 21, at the maximum, children will be able to go home. But that's actually, at 18 or even at 16, I think, in Scotland, and 18 in England, when you're an adult, you don't really fit under children's law anymore, so it's very difficult.
Now, you said that your children were special cases, that they would be maintained until the age of 21?
Yes, correct.
If you don't mind me asking, why is it that your children will be maintained there until 21? What is special about their case?
Nothing really, because they've only got the normal problems that normal children with, they've got less special needs than most children of their own age. I think it's personal, to be honest with you, and I really do think it's personal. It has to be personal because there's no other explanation.
Well, what kind of special needs do your children have? You said no different than most children.
Yeah, mild ADHD from my son,
Okay.
and my daughter has mild walking difficulties, but mild, like one leg's bigger than the other, and it causes her to put her feet inwards a bit. Just
but
the Joe Blogg's average problem.
Well, ADHD, my God, there are so many kids in the United States and Canada with ADHD, it's not even funny. And yet they're not taken from their parents. And just because your daughter has a disability, why? I don't understand why why your children were taken away from you. It's wrong, unless there's something I'm not seeing.
Probably there is two things. I mean, we could sue them for taking the children.
Mm-hmm.
We can encourage the children to sue them. I mean, that's the obvious one. But
Right.
Another one is that we've proved from doctors in North America that both children was damaged with vaccines when they were younger. That may also be a little bit of a reason.
My goodness. So where do you go from here? What are your plans? How are you proceeding?
Well, protesting and helping others is a good idea, but when they come into the care system, this is the bit that really, really makes me wake up reality every single day of the week. A lot of cases in the care system, the children run away and they're never found again. Last year, according to the government figures, police have dealt with a record number of 12,000 children running away, missing, and never coming back again. And they're never finding them at all. There's children in the care system being vaccinated, like I said, but more importantly, they're being sexually abused and raped. And that's the children that have been stolen from us dysfunctionals. It beggars belief. Sometimes I wake up thinking I'm living a dream. I've had a bad nightmare.
I don't doubt it, my friend. I don't doubt it. Andy, stand by. You and I have to take our final news break. Our final commercial, I should say. We'll be back on the other side. X-Zone Nation. Andrew Peacher's our special guest. We're talking about children that are being stolen from their family in the United Kingdom. Here's a website you can go to visit. It's called Forced Adoption. It's www.forced-adoption.com. That's www.forced-adoption.com. And according to the gentleman who runs the site, his name is Ian McKenzie, the sad fact is that social workers snatch babies at birth for forced adoption by strangers. They do this to protect them from the risk of emotional abuse from hundreds of UK mothers who have not committed any crime. Worse still, those mothers are forbidden to go out to the media to protest and threatened with jail if they do. We'll be back on the other side of this commercial break as we continue from our studios in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Don't go away.
Spend all your time waiting for that second chance, for a break that would make it okay. There's always some reason to feel not good.
Born a Shiite Muslim and taught the Quran in his youth are some of the reasons why President Obama has an affinity for Islam and the Muslim people. His nuclear deal with Iran allows them to obtain over $150 billion to stimulate their country domestically and militarily while pursuing their objective to develop a nuclear bomb. A groundbreaking article by Nicholas Jennings titled, "Obama Continues to Lie to the American People," exposes many lies Obama has made. It includes lies to the American people on the Obama-Iran nuclear deal and Benghazi.
The Genix article is provided on the internet link www.rel-mar.com/NG2. That's www.rel-mar.com/NG2.
When demystified, shamanism is an ancient science delving into the quantum level of life. Understanding and implementing basic shamanic principles can empower the individual to heal, manifest, and evolve in these rapidly changing times. Path Home Shamanic Art School is a one-of-a-kind Colorado State certified occupational school training and certifying shamanic practitioners and teachers. We also train individuals simply interested in empowering and enriching their lives through shamanism. Path Home's certification classes are in a week-long block format, enabling national and international students to participate. We also provide online classes and long-distance shamanic healing sessions as well. Discover all you can be. Enter the limitless world of shamanism today. For more information, visit findyourpathhome.com or call 303-775-3431.
Ever wondered if your advertising dollar is really working for you? If your ad would have been here, you and more than 4 million people would be listening to it right now. Contact ads@xzoneradiotv.com. Welcome back, everyone. This is the X Zone. My name is Rob McConnell. I'd like to take this opportunity of thanking all our guests tonight, and special thanks to you, the members of the X Zone Nation. Over the last 21 years, we have grown in ways I never thought possible. But once again, to you, the X Zone Nation, and of course to our broadcast affiliates and family around the world, thank you. Thank you, one and all. And it's because of this show, its popularity, and its following that I really believe that by having Andrew Peter on tonight, we might raise an awareness to a situation that is deplorable. It's the only word I can use, deplorable. Children are being taken away or stolen from parents by the Child Protective Services in the United Kingdom. First of all, Andrew, thank you very much for joining us, and thank you for bringing this very important topic to us here in the X Zone. We appreciate that.
Yeah, you're very welcome, and I always say to people, with any subject I talk about, don't believe me, but that's the first person you should never trust. Mm-hmm. Trust yourself. Type in forced adoptions UK, or the media's coined it child stealing by the state, because that's exactly what it is. Yeah. But you can also do that in Canada and America and Australia and, in any other country in Europe, because forced adoptions means exactly what it says on the tin.
Who's making the money here?
I think it's local government via the central government. So it's the local authorities getting all the money from the big governments to share around locally to spend on fat cats. Basically, people, the top of the chain, their bonuses and their lifestyles. I don't think the social workers are getting the money. Agencies are getting the money, such as care, health. They're making loads of money out of it. it's a billion-dollar industry.
Let me ask you this, Andrew. We're running out of time really fast here, my friend. What about the children who are in the care of CPS? How are they? Are they doing well? Are they well taken care of? Are all their needs being met?
No, the needs are not being met. The human rights are being breached. And at the age of 12, they're allowed to get a lawyer to go home. They're not allowed it. They're kidnapped, stolen, put in jail, whatever you want to call it.
Andrew, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, yeah.
All right, Andrew. Listen, you and I have to say so long for tonight. I want to thank you so much. We're going to have you back on in the future because one show certainly doesn't cover what needs to be said. So thank you very much for joining us, Andrew. I appreciate it. Take care, and blessings to you and your wife.
Yeah, thanks very much. No problem at all.
Take care now. Well, that's it for tonight,
bye-bye.
everyone. My name is Rob McConnell. This is the X-Zone. So until tomorrow night at 10 o'clock, when once again we cross the time-space continuum to this place that I call the X-Zone, keep your eyes to the sky and your heart in the light. Good night now.
Stay here. I know